we're back, and this time we're at Syndicate MMA. So far on my Vegas tour, everything has been going well. I joined 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu for a day, I infiltrated Jedi Does Jiu-Jitsu's gym, I became the new owner of Extreme Couture, and I still have some other gyms to show you. But if it brings you joy to watch me suffer, then this video is for you. My first round was against somebody that most people can recognize, but I already have a full video on that here. Nonetheless, here are some quick highlights. Jedi tried to drag me in and hit me with a single leg, but I came back with a guillotine. I ended up getting the tap on him, but later he armbarred me, and that was no fun. I'm into the second round with my new partner, and right away after failing the fist bump, I'm looking to start some wrestling. And 20 seconds into the round, this is how we started off.
I need healing.
Now even for someone like me who enjoys when the match gets a little bit more intense, this was certainly a bit much. I had no idea what my knee was going to be going through, but this time I only had one thought in my mind.
Hey, let me bang again, man. I'll let you bang. I'll let you bang.
The dual music was starting to ring in my ears, and despite my knee not feeling the best, I saw that he left me with an inverted heel hook. Even though I definitely wasn't happy with that scissor leg takedown, the inverted heel hook is a really nasty submission. I made sure to apply it slowly so the same thing wouldn't happen to his knee. Now yes, I certainly wasn't happy about the takedown, but at the same time, I don't want anyone to feel like they have to bash the guy or the gym. Syndicate was nice enough to let me go there, drop in, and record, so I'm very appreciative of that. But that didn't stop me from going into these next rounds trying to give him some punishment. I noticed that his full lock defense was really lacking, and because I was in try-hard mode, I went for the heel hook and got 5 taps. It was about at this time where I started to feel a little bit of inflammation in the knee. I still had a meatball mentality where I could push through the pain and even stand up on it for a little bit, but this adrenaline was quickly fading, so I had to make the most of it. I was using it to try and pass my opponent's guard, but he was pulling me down, which didn't end up helping him that much because he stayed flat in the mat the entire time. I was able to move into mount, but he was pretty scrambly from the get-go. When I had mount, I was taking my time because there's one submission I wanted to get more than anything else. Mother's Milk. This is when you're able to go to mount and smother them using your chest until you can get the tap. It's a satisfying submission for multiple reasons, but especially because it shows you have total control, which apparently I didn't have, because he's able to scoop under my leg and he creates enough space that he can go at the back door, but it works out okay for me as I can go for another leg attack. The reason this worked is because I went for the guillotine, but he pulled his head out and threw his legs forward, putting me in the perfect position to grab onto his leg and to get another submission. I definitely noticed a glaring weakness in his game, and I could have gone full Hannibal Lecter and used his feet as my next meal, but for anyone that knows me, it should be pretty obvious that I love to do more than just one submission.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
I start this next round trying to pass his guard with the windshield wiper, but you know what's better than one windshield wiper? 2. Doubling up on the feet makes it super easy for me to pass his guard anytime I want. Maybe if I was actually talented at jiu-jitsu I could go for a far side Kimura, but instead I just pass his guard and I go into a different failed submission, the lat choke. You would think that somebody that loves to watch Marcelo Garcia could do one of his #1 moves, but let me offer you something better. A black belt just spinning in a circle, trying to get a submission, but not even being able to step over the arm, and instead he has to take mount. Now mount is all fine and dandy. You have tons of submissions from here such as the armbar, a mounted triangle, or even a head and arm choke. And I just want you to keep those great options in mind. But before you can do any of those, you need to have good control. I scoop my hits up to high mount, and what submission do you think you could go for here? His arm is perfectly exposed, he's pushing against me, giving me a free attack known as the armbar, so I go for it and immediately lose it. The setup attack for this was great. I already had his arm extended and I could bring my legs over the face, but I act like I've never done a leg press in my life because I didn't kick him away at all. Fortunately for me, my #1 skill is to scramble, so I hit him with an omoplata sweep to retain top control. Now if he gets to test my knee strength, I get to test his flexibility. I keep his leg over my shoulder and I drive him down to the mat while putting him in a cradle at the same time. And instead of passing right away, I hold him in this position until I feel comfortable going into side control and letting him off of the pressure. We run through a few more positions, but despite me getting a few taps on him, I actually feel like I came out the loser on this one. Looks like I'm 0-2 for the day. Now every time I go to a new gym, I always try and roll with the coach, and today would be no different. Injury or not, I'm a glutton for pain and I'm trying to take any gym that I can. To start this round off, he begins by elevating me and throwing in a deep De La Riva hook. You don't normally see it like this, but this is an excellent position to go for a berimbolo. His right leg is so deep and across my waist that he can kick me over my back, and his left leg is also trapping my foot, so if I try and stand up and kick my leg free, I'm not going to be able to. And like clockwork, he starts rolling towards the side as if he's going for the berimbolo, but then he bails and just comes on top for the sweep. Right away things aren't looking great because I'm flat on my back and he's already working a knee slice to pass my guard. I try and create some frames from underneath him and push against his face, but he comes in with the crossface which completely destroys any frames I have from here, and he can continue to treat me like a young child grappling with their dad. I've been blessed with a little bit of space so I can start turning with him as he's going for the chest on chest pressure, which allows me to recapture his leg and I can put him right back into half guard. Even though I just got him to half guard, I'm in immediate danger. He has his arm over the back of my neck and then he takes mount. Now I know that having my knee torn apart must have been awful, but you know what's worse? Getting caught in the same submission that I hit on everybody else. Great guillotine by him. Now I've been beat up in the past, and normally you wouldn't go down the same street where you just got mugged, but I'm coming back for more until he can take all my personal belongings. This time when I go in on top, I'm using a little bit more pressure so he can't set up such a deep De La Riva guard on me. He's doing a great job by using the frames to keep my arms at bay, so I decide to use my head instead as if I didn't just get guillotined. But this time the issue is going to be that left overhook. He's refusing to let me pull my right underhook and he's attacking my far wrist at the same time. And this lets him treat me like a white belt as he hits the basic butterfly sweep and I have to add one to the quack meter. And then another one after he completely victimizes my guard. He completely styles on me as he hits me with a back turning knee slice to obliterate my guard. So I get quacked twice, and what do I do from here? I sit on my back the entire time trying to flop around until he decides he's going to push the pace on me. He initiates by going for a Kimura, but thankfully my first professor was the Kimura King. I pull my leg to myself so I can grip onto my inner thigh for defense, but he's always hunting for the kill as he transitions towards my back and pulls me into full back control. I beat most of the people that I train with, so it's no issue for me to say that back control is one of my worst positions. He dismantles my back defense by bringing his right heel over my wrist. Then on the other side, he's controlling my wrist as he digs under my chin looking for the rear naked choke. I'm completely out of options here and I have to tap. We continued the round, but I'm sad to say it didn't get much better for me. He used a low X guard to sweep me over with a single leg. He kept that same pressure on my leg so he could walk around my guard instead of going through it. Then he casually ignored my Granby rolls. I tried to escape. He attained double underhooks and quickly went into mount. Then he tried to finish me off by going for an armbar after his mother's milk didn't work. Now luckily for me, I was saved by the bell, but you know what I couldn't save? My dignity. I had to take a big L on this one. So overall, I was handed a few losses. I got armbarred in my first round, my knee torn in my second round, and then I got completely embarrassed by one of the coaches. But hey, at least Sean Strickland will be happy I got beat up. Now if you've been looking to get into the holiday spirit, make sure to check out xmartial.com. Now Black Friday is right around the corner. They're going to have deep discounts on all of their training gear. You can get silly rash guards like I'm wearing, or you can get a plethora of other options on their website. Make sure to check out my link in the description below and use promotion code Tyler10.